brought our son, our youngest of 3, to actually board the last coal ship at that dock that would ever be there ever again.
Welcome to True Incredible Stories. In this episode, you'll meet a couple who grew up in Port Washington, Wisconsin, a tiny port on the shores of Lake Michigan, back when the coal ships towered over the shoreline and Friday fish fries and fresh chubs were a way of life. But the real twist comes years later when the husband is given a rare access to board the very last coal ship to ever depart from that port. A simple childhood memory becomes a historic moment that you won't forget.
So when I was a young girl, it would be early 1970s. My family moved to this area in Canalsville, which is that would be the north end of Port Washington. And so one of my most cherished memories, and one of the things that we always did on the weekends, besides taking our garbage to the dump and going not far from here to get spring water, because our water was bad where we lived. We would come here and either park over in the marina area, which was much less developed at that time, or on the bluff and watch the coal ships come in to the dock. And so that was a big excitement, watching these really large coal ships dock over here. And we were a family of 4 kids, and Dad would sometimes come down then we'd wait for them to come in on the weekend, Sunday nights. And then Dad would sometimes drive down and get a little closer so we could get a close-up look. Now, fast forward, do you want to tell the story when you took our son? Fast forward 1970 to roughly 2005, or whenever that was, that Wisconsin Electric decided no more coal. Okay. My husband Todd, who's lived in Ozaukee County since he was a child, brought our son, our youngest of 3, to actually board the last coal ship at that dock that would ever be there ever again.
You remember the name?
And what was the name of it?
I'm asking you. Do you remember the name?
You brought our son, and
it would have been the Edmund Fitzgerald, because that one went down.
That wasn't even a coal ship, but I just
it was.
I remember being extremely feeling so bad. Wish I had to work that day, or that was my weekend to work, or I would have been with him, and that would have been just a nice closure to this whole.
That's right. That was right here, because they used to take up from that corner, almost all the way out. They were that big.
Yes.
That was a coal-fired power plant.
I'm gonna say I took our 7-year-old son.
Oh, right, yeah. When the coal ship was here, I took my son Blake, and we were taken aback at how large it was, and then too, how much of it was just storage for the coal. And on each end, well, sure, you had the wheelhouse, and then you had the other end where, the cabin quarters. But again, it was just so interesting how big this thing was, how long it was, and basically, I remember too how all steel, thick paint, very industrial, right? And then too, you think about, I remember thinking, wow, but yet Edmund Fitzgerald weather it was on Lake Superior, the Great Lakes, could take something like that down. Wow. It's just incredible. So even though these coal ships were really rugged and robust, how inclement weather can make them go down.
Wow.
It had a smell, very, like I said, coal, fuel, you could tell, so you can, not on the inside, but of course if you were outside, but it wasn't like a cruise ship or a passenger ship, but just a real industrial working ship with, kind of confined, So I just remember that. It was pretty neat.
Well, that's pretty incredible to be able to experience that
Yeah.
for yourself and actually board a
Yeah,
ship like that.
it
Not
was.
everyone gets to do that.
Exactly, and it was, we're so close.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, let's go see it. The last one, we got to go on it
Wow.
and tour it, and then I wonder what would be interesting. What happened to the ones that were left? Did they get dismantled, sold off for scrap?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting. I have no idea.
Right. And that was something to see as a kid.
Yep.
Wow.
And
Now it's natural gas, right? Natural
Right.
gas and
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so
sport fishing. That's what Port's famous for.
that's
so.
great memory though. Great memory.
And
to
we live in
have.
Saukville, which is considered the bedroom community of Port,
Right.
right?
I
That's
have
where
one
all the
more thing to
residential
say.
places-
So
Yes.
we would also come on Fridays to Ewigs, which is still over here, just
Okay.
over here, to get a fish fry. So
Or smoked fish.
we would get a fish fry, French fries and all, and take it away in paper bags and go back home and eat it, and that was such a treat.
Yep.
Yep.
Or the chubs, the smoked chubs.
Well, that's maybe what your family did.
Well, yeah, a lot of families did smoked fish chubs because they weren't fried; they were smoked. So, and then too, they were reasonably priced. So, yeah,
So that's our story.
that's it. Yeah.